Hello and welcome back to Awake with Lady. Today, I'm very excited to welcome Susan Carabello, a manifestation coach, a spiritual teacher, and author. Susan helps people reconnect with their inner wisdom, break free from limiting beliefs, and manifest a life of purpose and abundance. Susan, welcome to the
Hi.
show. It's
Thank you so much for having me. So happy to be here.
going to be fun. So,
Yeah.
before we start, actually, Susan, why don't you take us back to the beginning? What was your first spiritual awakening or that moment of realization that set you in the spiritual path?
Sure. I guess it was 2018. I was going through a divorce.
Mhm.
We had been together for 23 years at that point, and I just started meditating. And meditating for me was very difficult. I would try to meditate and I would probably last about 5 minutes, thought mostly about food or coffee, the things that would happen after I would get out of meditation. So I was clearly not connected to myself at that moment. So the more time I spent meditating, the more I started to learn about spirituality and learning about yoga, learning about connecting with yourself and really moving down that path of discovery and self development.
Can you walk us through how you decided to follow the spiritual path and become a coach?
Sure. So I was a professional makeup artist up until 2020, the beginning of 2024. I worked in film and television. I did a lot of corporate work and I was working part time, also had a part time office job, but decided to go full time with my business in 2020. So it was January 2020, had my books filled with appointments, constantly working, which was something I absolutely loved. And then COVID hit in March and I lost my business over the course of 18 months.
Mm.
So I really didn't work at all because had a very specific specialty in makeup, which again was film and television corporate work. And a lot of people were working from home at that point. So we weren't working in an office. So makeup really wasn't needed. So I had to ebb and flow. And during my meditations, I was getting that nudge. You need to be a coach. You need to teach people spirituality. And I kept getting the push. And I'm like, I don't know what this means. Right. And again, I was not trusting that little voice within inside of me, which was telling me this is the way it needs to be done. I was like, I don't know what this means, right? So that it's the logical mind that wants a clear answer. It's like A, B, and C. You need to do these three things. Whereas when you walk the spiritual path, it's more about trusting and having faith in the creator to divinely guide you down the path. And so I had to slowly shift from this logical mindset to one that was more intuitive and that served me better. So over the course of the next 5 years, I slowly built my business. I started as a mindset coach, mindset manifestation, using the law of attraction, and slowly moved from the law of attraction to the law of assumption, which basically states that everything that you believe to be true is, and that everything that you believe is driving the bus of your life. So if you believe that you are not worthy of success, then that will be presented to you in every case, whether it's in relationships, if it's at work, or if it's calling in success in your bank account, like calling in money. Anything that you believe to be true is. And then slowly, I just started practicing spirituality in general, right? So it's practicing the law of assumption, it's that positive thinking, the law of affinity that like attracts like, and law of assumption, which is everything that you believe to be true is. When you put it all together, it's the perfect way to live your life, right? It's learning about them, but then how can we apply these things to our lives? It's really looking that we are here to learn lessons in our life, taking the spiritual laws that we know, applying them to our life so that we can manifest and create the life that we're intended to have. So what I mean by that is that we're here to learn lessons and to overcome them. And we each have a lesson to learn here, whether it's how to become a better mom, a better friend, a better parent, how we can overcome that obstacle of fear so that we can step into our greatest life. These are lessons, and we each have different lessons, right? And over time, these lessons will be presented to us in the form of tests. And I hate to say that the universe tests us, but what happens is the universe will present us with an opportunity to say, do you believe this about yourself? Or can you elevate yourself, expand your vessel, expand your container, and allow yourself to receive everything that's meant for you?
When you mentioned about spirit nudging you back in
Mhm.
2020 to teach
Yeah.
spirituality, that
Yes.
remind me of me, my personal story. I was being nudged by spirit in, I want to say late 2019, early 2020, to
Hmm.
start a YouTube podcast. And I was like, well,
Nice.
what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. And they said it's a spirituality podcast. And I'm like, you mean that I have to be on camera? I'm not ready for that. And I was like, nope, nope, nope. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then they kept nudging and nudging and nudging. And here we are. So I guess they were
Oh,
right.
and that's exactly the way it
Mhm.
happens. It's that nudge. It's that little
Mhm.
soft tap. I'm gonna tap you once. I'm gonna tap you twice. I'll tap you 3 times. The 4th time, they're just like, "Let's go. Let's do this." And
Exactly.
it was the same thing for me. Like, I've been navigating this path because this is the path I'm meant to be on.
Mhm.
And I started as a manifestation coach. Like, that was what I believed I was meant to do. But here we are in 2025. And with complete certainty, I know that I am a coach, but I am more certain that I am a teacher. Like, I love teaching people spirituality. And I love showing them how they can apply spiritual law to their lives so that they can create the life that they want. And then coaching is a secondary aspect to that, right? Once we learn the laws, I can coach you through those obstacles. I can show you how to create the vision for your life. I can show you how to connect every day through meditation so that you can have a dream life. And that's what we're meant to have. We all have this birthright to achieve everything that our soul desires: love, abundance, success, purpose, all of it. It's just getting out of our own way and stop listening to the stories that we're telling ourselves and start creating stories that are true and aligned with who we truly are.
Indeed. Now, I want to go back to the beginning of your journey for a second, and we'll
Yeah,
come back to this last section.
sure.
But tell me about your family and friends. When you came out to the world and said, this is what I'm doing, hey, what was the reaction? How did they take it?
It's interesting. I have such great friends and such great family that everyone just accepted me. I think they all kind of knew that I was on this journey and just loved me through it. And it's just made my relationships with my friends, my family, so much stronger because I realized a lot of the stuff that I was going through was my own stuff. And they loved me and supported me through it. And they were sounding boards. They were ears to chat with, and voices that expressed their opinions. And it was just all loving, very loving and very comforting and so good. Like, I mean, it's amazing all the things that I've gone through in the last 7 years. These people have stood by me and supported me and loved me through it, and what a gift that is, and that's a gift from God. God placed me with the right people at the right time, always, to grow into the person that I am today, and nobody's ever questioned my journey. They've just loved me through it, and that what a blessing. Like,
What a blessing. Yep.
yeah, truly
Indeed.
a blessing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not everyone has a circle of friends and family that are so supportive. So I
Yes.
do speak with a lot of people who have had near death experiences, and it's not that their family turns their backs on them. It's just
Mhm.
that when they come back, they're such a different person that maybe this is my opinion. Maybe their families, their friends don't know what to do to help them.
Yeah.
But it's always great to rely on your friends, on your circle, and not go at it alone, because when you first wake up, it can be challenging to say the least.
Well, and that's the
Mhm,
truth, right? So like when you're
mhm.
surrounded by great people, and I can say I have so many great people, like the people that I work with, my family, my friends, like my friends from college who I haven't spoken to in years. Like I have such a great support system. And it's such a gift that like I get to wake up and do something that I love. I've fallen on my face 100 times in 7, 8 years. And these people have been there to pick me up, support me, and love me. And I wouldn't be the person I am today. And I say that with my hand in the air. I would not be the person I am today without the love and support of all my family and friends. And every day and every night that I go to bed, I am grateful for that.
Okay, Susan. So many people may feel stuck in their lives, unsure of what their purpose is. Did you
Mhm.
ever go through a period of feeling lost, finding this path? And if so, what did you do? How did you overcome that?
Sure. So it's all about trust, right? So I had a career as a makeup artist. And during COVID, when we're quarantined and in our homes, we have a lot of time to think about the path that we're supposed to be on. But was very lucky because at that point I had been meditating for about 2 years. So I knew how to tap into that point of centeredness within myself. It really comes down to trust. Can you trust that voice and that inner knowing within us? And what I mean is that we have this little voice. It's our intuition, right? It's our connection to God, the creator, source, the universe, whatever word you want to use. And they'll give us that nudge, right? And they'll say, this is the path that you're meant to be on. You have to trust it. And I think that's been the biggest lesson for me is trusting that the creator, that God, that source is divinely guiding me in everything that I do. And coming from a point where I was like, you have the wheels, the steering wheel of the bus of your life, and you're driving it. You're really not. Like source, creator, God, whatever you want to use, is really driving the bus of your life. But I was so gripping the steering wheel so tightly is the only way to describe it because I was afraid to let go, right? I was afraid of letting go of this career that I had built for myself and trusting this path that was unknown, right? Like I had to trust with full faith that, that the creator was guiding me down the path that I was meant to be on. And in the last 5 years, since that point where I lost my business, it was like, okay, I'm going to take baby steps. I'm going to do it. I'm going to change. I'm going to ebb and flow, but I'm trusting that it's going to work out. And it has. And being a spiritual teacher is what resonates with me. So not only do I teach spirituality and manifestation, I also teach yoga. So yoga is all about the asanas. It's about the postures, but it's also about spirituality. It's about breath work. So it kind of all goes together. And I absolutely love it. So I know that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And if you're on this journey and you're unsure, meditation is such a great way to connect with yourself and connect with that point of centeredness where you can get those answers. Because when you quiet down the body, quiet down the mind, you can actually hear what you're meant to hear.
How can someone know that they are hearing the voice of spirit and not their own voice, so that they're not making it up? What was your process in recognizing the differences?
Um, Easiest way is how it feels in your body. So when it's the voice of our ego, right? It's the voice that's very loud and it makes you feel uncomfortable. It's like somebody's screaming at you, but you just don't know where it's coming from. It's like there's this voice and it's loud and it's noisy. So it's noisy, right? It makes your body feel noisy. When it's coming from the creator, it's peaceful, it's calm in your body, and that's when you'll know. Like somebody described it once as a hug from your grandma, right? A hug from your grandma is always this loving, like this gentle, nurturing feeling. That's exactly it. And that's the best way to describe it. It's just this warm hug from your grandma.
That's a beautiful way to describe it. I'd never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my case, it sounds like my own voice, quieter and smoother and
Yeah.
gentler, which, total opposite to me. But yeah, it's very important for us to know basically tell how to recognize when it's our
Right.
own voice when we're making it up. If it's something else that you would normally do, maybe that's you, but this is my personal opinion or perception. If it's something that you normally like, if you don't think like that normally, but it's
Mhm.
something good, it's something that's not gonna hurt anybody, something that you needed to hear, more than likely that's coming from source. Would you say that's true?
Yes. So again, source is it's a very calming, it's a very peaceful, it's a knowing, it's a certainty within us. The way I describe the other voice is very loud, very noisy. When it starts to hijack us, it's really an opportunity for us to stop, take a moment, and face it, right? So like that's this little voice over here that says, "I can't do it. I'm not good enough." Whatever the story is, right? It's over here. It's ruminating. It's telling you all these things. Whereas the creator's like, everything's good over here. You can have everything you want. You can have like everything in your soul that's meant for you. The money, the success, the relationship, all of it. But it's overcoming this voice over here that is, a little bit more loud, right? So how can we have to trust, right? Like once we start to trust, we let go of this guy over here, the loud voice, and really start to step into the space of trust. This guy's going to start to quiet down. But it's it's also acknowledging that it's there, but not entertaining it. Like we don't want to entertain it because what happens is from a space of creation, the more that we give energy to something, the more it grows. So this is our storyteller, right? And we're trying to determine if this story is true or not. Well, this guy over here is, keeping the stories from everything. It's coming with all the stories from the day that you arrived on this earth until this very moment, right? So when you fell on the playground and scraped your knee, that's, in here, right? So if you go outside and you're walking or trying to ride a bike, it's like, you'll remember that story. It's like, oh, I remember when I fell back when I was 5. I fell off my bike. Well, that was 50 years ago. And it's like, but that's what that voice does, right? It keeps track just because it wants to keep us safe. That's what its job is to keep us safe and keep us alive. That's the only reason why it's there. But the creator's like, I have everything over here for you. It's safe over here, but you have to trust me. And it's learning to trust A in ourselves and B the unseen. When we don't have the unseen, when we don't know we can't see, right? This voice gets very loud because then it's like, well, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know the outcome. I'm going to control it. I need to keep us safe. Like those are the things that, that voice does and then it starts to pull from experiences, right? And experiences all the way back to our childhood are here. If we can stop and just observe this, don't give it energy, notice that it's there, be like, okay, I hear you. Breathe. Thank you for showing me this. I trust the creator. I trust what the creator has for me. And I'm going to focus on this over here.
Earlier, we were talking about the law of attraction and the law of
Yes.
assumption.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I think like manifestation is a buzzword these days,
Hmm.
but many people don't fully understand it. How
Sure.
would you define true manifestation just beyond just thinking positive thoughts and hoping for the best?
Sure. Well, manifestation is something you do every single day. So it's not something special that we are just learning about. You do it every day with every choice that you make. Every choice that you make from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed, is a choice that you decide to create in your life. Sometimes what happens is we do it unconsciously when we focus more on the stories that are in this little voice that is screaming and yelling and making a lot of chatter in the background. When we give energy here, the more that we focus on this, the more we create from this. Manifestation is not anything special for, and I don't want to say it's not special. It's something we do every day. We don't need to learn how to do it. We need to learn how to allow the things that are meant for us to come into our life. And that's really what manifestation is. It's like, okay, now I'm aware that, things don't work and that I have the power to change them. Then we start to focus on these techniques to get us into that state to create the life that we want. But I'm going to take it one step back. Creation is already done. Everything that is meant for you is already yours. You don't need to create it. You just need to allow it in. And that's where true manifestation happens. Can you overcome the stories of this guy over here to allow everything that the creator has meant for you? And that's it. And you can use affirmations to get you into that state and to connect you to the creator. You can use visualization techniques, scripting, positive self-talk. Those are all techniques to get you to connect over here with source, the creator, the universe, right? Because this is where you want to be. But most of the time, what happens is manifestation comes into someone's life because they want to get out of this. They don't know how to get out of this. And this is where the work is. It's, can we overcome these stories, which are just stories? That's all it is. And if you can let go of these stories over here, you allow the creator to really work through you and create the life that you're meant to have.
And it's also important for us to keep in mind that manifestation, from a personal experience before I
Mm-hmm.
came to spirituality path, I used
Mm-hmm.
to relate law of attraction to, or manifestation to, money. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just about money or relationship. If you want those things, great, go for it.
Yeah.
It's already there. You just have to allow it in. But
Yeah.
also when it comes to our own bodies, when it comes to our own way of thinking and the way of
Mhm.
living and eating, to me, all that is manifestation. It's not just
It is.
money. It's not just a car in my driveway. It's not the house.
Yeah.
It's not just material things, is what I'm
Right.
trying to say.
Yeah. And that you're absolutely right. Like, I think what happens is because manifestation has become so popular, we use manifestation to manifest the material things, but we can also use it to create the life and the mind, body, and spirit that we're meant to have. And it's all about letting go. It's about surrender. It's about trusting. It's about trusting the unseen. It's about trusting and knowing with complete certainty that the creator has everything done and taken care of for you. You're being divinely guided. You don't need to create or recreate the wheel, right? We don't need to do that. The creator's already got the plan. But can we let go of all the stuff that is holding you back from the allowing the creator to give it to you? I used an example recently that imagine that you have this beautiful Honda Civic and you've had this Honda Civic for 10 years, right? And you've loved this car and you go out and you buy yourself a new car. You upgrade that Honda to a new Honda. But what happens? You have all the stuff from the other car, right? You take that out and put it in the new vehicle. What happens? You're taking the stories from the old vehicle and putting them in the new vehicle. It's the same thing in a relationship, right? You want to manifest a new relationship, but if you haven't let go of the stories of the relationships that have not worked out in the past, you're just going to recreate those stories again in the future, right? And it happens like that even at work. If you got fired from a job and you got a new job and you're still resentful for the job that you got fired from, what's going to happen? That resentment is still in your body. So at some point, it's going to bubble up into the new job that you just had unless you let it go. And that's really where the techniques come in, right? Because You want to use the techniques to overcome those things, but you can do it without techniques. It's about recognizing that there's this story here and I'm choosing to let it go. And I'm going to use affirmations and techniques to keep me in the state over here so that I can create deliberately, so that I can create the body that I want, so I can create the mindset that I want, so that I can create the life that I want.
You kind of answered this question, but I want to
Okay,
give a little more context on this because
sure.
right now, a lot of people, Susan, they may be struggling with deeply ingrained limiting beliefs, whether it is
Mhm.
about money, love, or self worth, like we were just talking
Yes.
about. What
Mhm.
would be the first step to breaking free from these patterns?
So I teach a method called the Renew Method of Manifestation. It's a 5-step process. And basically, it's about releasing the story from your system. And what I mean is, how can we take the story and take it out of our energetic body and put it into a journal or a piece of paper and release it, right? Because everything's energy. So right now it's trapped in here. Our job is to take the pen to the paper and release the story. And when I say release, I want my clients, my students to take that moment and really write out, journal out every story that you have about how you feel about how worthy you are, the stories that you have about money, the stories that you have about relationships, and really let go. If you feel wrong because you're not making enough money, well, look at the stories that you have. Like, what stories are you holding? Like, are you holding on to a story that it's really hard, that you have to hustle and work hard to make money, or money doesn't grow on trees, or I have to live paycheck to paycheck, right? Imagine that story going on in your body over and over. Well, I live paycheck to paycheck. And you could say it in passing as a joke, but if you don't recognize that that's the pattern, then that's the pattern you keep repeating. So you're trying to create this life full of abundance, right? So you now have moved from one job to another, you got a raise, but you're still living paycheck to paycheck. Why is that? It's the story that you're telling yourself, that I live paycheck to paycheck. And that's where you have to put the stop to it, recognize it, recognize that it's a story that's just been ingrained over here, and that you're consciously deciding that's not my story anymore. I'm going to choose a different story. So I teach my clients to release it. Release it, take a piece of paper, write it all out. If you want to write for an hour, go for it. But when you're done, you should feel a sense of lightness in your body, that you've released the stories that no longer serve you.
That is so true. I mean, you obviously know you teach it, but that reminded me years ago, things from the past kept bubbling up. And I was
Mhm.
like, but why is this coming up now? I thought I worked through all that.
Yeah.
So I remember that night I was alone in my house. I put on meditation music just in the
Yeah.
background, lit some candles, and I started writing and writing on my journal and
Mhm.
writing and writing. Literally, when I came back to me, 2 hours had gone by, and I ended
Yeah.
up writing an 8-page letter to,
Yes.
including all those memories. And what I did, I just went to my backyard and burned the letters
And
in
that's exactly.
in a safe space, and I,
Yeah.
threw the ashes on the ground and gave it to Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, for her
Yep.
to take that and transmute it. And
And that's
it just
exactly what I tell my clients to do,
exactly, and it
because
works.
it works, because what happens is it's it's ceremonial, right? You're taking that energy and you're saying to the universe, to God, the creator, this story no longer serves me. You
Mhm,
take it, you burn it, and you let them transmute it into love, right?
mhm,
And then once it's gone, you feel so much lighter. You jump in the shower, you rinse off that negative energy, right? Because it's not in your body anymore. So you're creating space, right? And that's what I teach is how can we expand our vessel?
mhm.
How can we expand our container? You can only expand your container if you let go of the things that don't serve you, if you let go and forgive, right? So that's a part of what I teach is once we release it, the next step is taking responsibility for the story. We have to recognize that at one point we believed the story. We have to release it, take responsibility, and accept it. The responsibility part is to acknowledge and accept that we believed it at one point, but we don't believe it now. But we have to take responsibility for it, because if we can't accept this present moment for what it is, we can't create something new. Like that's part of spiritual law. Like if you can't accept where you are, you can't create something new for yourself. You can't move forward. You have to be comfortable with where you are right now in this very moment. And then from there, we focus on forgiveness. Like, how can we forgive ourselves, right? Because a lot of times we then get to that stage, right, where we're taking responsibility, and then it goes into like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And it's like, it had to happen.
Yeah.
Creator's guiding you. Like, it had to happen that way. It's not a big deal. But can you forgive yourself and also forgive the other people that you may have hurt along the way? Forgive them, forgive yourself, right? Because once you forgive, you release it, right? It's all part of the release. And then give gratitude. Give gratitude for the lesson that the creator has shown you. And give gratitude to all the people that came across your path during your lifetime, because they were acting as teachers to bring you right here to this moment where you were meant to be. And once you've gotten through those steps, you can rewrite your story. You can rewrite it however you want. But trust that the creator and connect with the creator and allow the creator to work through you.
Indeed. That just reminded me of another guest I had on the podcast a while back. We were
Mhm.
talking about similar things, and he said, if we can find a way to see everyone we encounter in our lives as a teacher,
Yes.
thank you, teacher. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you. Now I release
Yeah,
you. Everything would be so different. And it's true.
absolutely.
It's easier
I agree with that 100%.
it's easier said than done, because when you're in the trenches and somebody hurts you, or whatever
Yeah.
situation you went through, I would be like, wait, hold on, this is not a teacher, this is a pain in the neck for me. Why would I say thank you to this person? But in reality,
Right.
I believe that we encounter the people and the situations that we need for our own soul development and growth.
Absolutely, 100%. We have teachers in every avenues of our lives, in our relationships, friendships, family members are our teachers, our colleagues, our students, right? Just the people at
Everyone.
the grocery store. Everyone is teaching us a lesson about ourselves. And it's in those moments where we're being reactive, right? That we learn those lessons, right? Because when we're reacting, there's an energy or a story that's tied to what is going on, right? So it's that trigger where we're starting to, right? The energy starting to bubble up, and your stomach is getting tight, and it's starting to like squeeze, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't feel good, and right, you're ready to implode. But what is that? Like, that is the reaction. And sometimes what happens is the reaction is the result of a story that we have tied to that. So once we can let go of the reaction, we let go of the story, it's so much easier to see everyone as a teacher. And it takes time, it takes practice, but we can do it.
Now, I want to take you back to our previous conversation about,
Sure.
how we can basically certain steps that we can take to shift our mindset. Do you have any stories about your clients, without giving too much details, or people that you work with who have
Mhm.
experienced these powerful transformations?
Sure, sure. So, vision boards are a big part of what I help people with. So, one of my first clients, I was showing her how to do a vision board. And the one thing I always tell them to do is to stick something on there that is easy to manifest, something that you're not attached to. Because what happens is we get blocks when we become attached to an outcome. So when people put together vision boards, what happens is they take this one thing that there's no attachment to. I say a cup of coffee, tea, hot cocoa, and visualize that. create that, and they can manifest it very quickly. The bigger transformation happens when there's things that we need to remove. So it's powerful to watch my clients when they get it and when they understand it and when they can take that information and transform their own lives. And they can move from the space of feeling stuck, and they catch themselves. Like, that's the best part, is that they catch themselves and they'll call me and be like, I caught myself today. I caught myself going down the rabbit hole. I'm like, and that's huge. That's transformation in itself. Like, when you can stop the train tracks, or stop the train on the train tracks and be like, oh my, I'm going down the rabbit hole of the old story, and they stop and they shift their mindset. And when you make that shift instantly, the outcome, then you take yourself to a different outcome. So I get calls like that all the time, which I absolutely love. And I think that's what's so powerful is the mix of the vision boards and creating and seeing how creation works, and they understand it, right? That's why I always use the coffee or the tea or the hot cocoa, because there's no resistance, right? And they can manifest that pretty quick. And it's like, gosh, I manifested a cup of tea. I had clients call me. I hosted a workshop back in, I think it was September of last year. And I gave them a challenge. I'm like, I want you to visualize a blue balloon. That's it. Visualize a blue balloon and give it all the colors and sounds and whatnot. Visualize that and call me when you get it. Within an hour, I had a client call me and be like, I saw it. Like, I was out like at the grocery store after we had our conversation. I saw the blue balloon. I was like, no way. And she's like, it literally stopped me in my tracks. And I was like, that is how manifestation works. So they take these little things, these little steps, and they start apply it to their life. And then they catch themselves when they're starting to go off track. And that's the beauty of it. That's what I think gets me most excited, is when I get those phone calls. It's like, I caught myself. I caught myself, talking poorly about myself, and I stopped myself and I did exactly what you told me to do. And that's the transformation. It's not something that happens overnight, but it's these little steps along the way that get us to that end goal, so that, like, a year from now, you'll be a completely different person. And it's not because you did something overnight. It's the little steps that you did every day. And that's what's most important. And that's the basis for my teachings, is I want you to take these little steps every day, make them habits. And over time, these habits will become your lifestyle. And in a year from now, not even in a year, 3 months, 6 months from now, you'll be a completely different person. And people will be like, what happened? Like, what changed? And that's literally what it is.
While you were speaking, certain memories came back to me of me utilizing, manifestation techniques
Yeah.
and telling the universe, well, I want this. I don't need it, but I want it. So make it happen.
Yeah.
And I would just
Yeah.
get out of the way. I would just get out of the way, keep on with my day.
Yeah.
And before I knew it, I had what I wanted. In this
Yeah.
particular time, it was a blow dryer that I wanted. So
Yeah.
it was the most random thing. I was like, I want that blow dryer, but I don't want to pay that much money. So make it happen. And
Well,
I got it.
yeah. It's interesting the way the universe works. It listens. It doesn't respond to our words. It responds to our vibration.
Hmm.
And if we are certain, and so certain in what the universe has for us, what the creator has for us, you could be like, yeah, I want a Tesla. I don't need it, but I want it. I know you'll give it to me. Thank you. And I let you handle it, right? That's faith right there. And that's trust. Now, I don't have to worry about how this Tesla is going to come. I don't need to visualize it, because I know with certainty that the creator's taking care of it. He knows that, the Tesla is what I want. So it's not my job to go out and start looking for a Tesla. Like, when I get the inspired action, when I get the tap on the shoulder, it's time. It's time for the Tesla. Oh, okay. Well, now we're going to go look for the Tesla. And suddenly there's like an ad for a Tesla, and it's in your price range, and suddenly you're driving a new car, right? We don't have to force,
Yeah.
right? That's the beauty of it. When you get to that space of faith and certainty, and you apply apply these things to your life can transform. And we don't pray to be heard, we pray to transform. We pray to change. Right? So that's the quote. I saw it yesterday online and it was so profound. We don't pray to be heard. We pray to be changed or transformed. And that's what we want, right? We want to change. We want something different. And that's what we pray for. And the creator, God, always listens.
Yeah.
The universe always listens. We're always connected. Can we just keep that connection alive? That's our job.
Can we back up here for just a moment? You mentioned
Yeah.
that it's when we feel the tap on the shoulder. How can
Yes.
we recognize that we are getting the tap on the shoulder and our manifestation is right next to us?
Faith. You have to have faith that it's there, right? It's literally manifestation is a walk of faith. It's the easiest way to describe it. You have to trust that the creator's listening to you. And you, this human form, has to trust that what the creator has for you is perfect for you. It's a two-way street, right? You have to trust in the creator and you have to trust that what the creator has for you is perfect for you. Right. And then you have to just literally just trust, like when you get the tap, that you know that that tap is meant for you and don't doubt it. Like that's where we get caught. It's like, well, now's not a good time. It's raining outside and I'm not going to go outside now. I'm going to wait. I'm going to, it's not the perfect time, right? Because we think it's the perfect time and then there's God's time. Right. And it's like what my teacher, when I did my teacher training back 2 years ago, she said that God has plan A, you have plan B, God's going to let you walk down plan B, you're getting plan A. I'll give you a little chance to go over here and play for a little bit, enjoy yourself, but eventually you're going to be back where he wants you, plan A.
That's true.
Right? So you can wander, you
All you
can
want.
you can all you want, but eventually
Yeah.
he's going to wrangle you back in and be like, this is the path that you're supposed to be on. Trust me.
Yep.
And that's it. And manifestation really comes down to, can you trust unseen, sight unseen, that what the creator has is greater than anything that you could ever envision and imagine for yourself. And trust and have faith that what you desire is exactly what the creator wants for you. Like that's really it. Like what you want is exactly what the creator wants for you. And that's where the test of faith is. That's where you have to trust that even everything that comes into our lives or gets moved around is for our greatest and highest good.
Aside from manifestation, you're also a certified holistic yoga teacher,
Yes.
Reiki master, and you're also a shamanic practitioner. So,
Yes,
how do these modalities complement the manifestation work?
absolutely. So spirituality is a big part of yoga. And Reiki's the same thing. Reiki, we act as an energetic channel for source to use our hands, and source energy flows through us to help people heal from emotional blockages as well as physical blockages in our energy system. And shamanic practices, it's really learning about earth, it's learning about how the world around us works. And all of these things can be applied to our lives and to our manifestation practices because it all comes back to the same thing. It's connecting with source. It's connecting with ourselves. It's, trusting that the creator has something great for us, especially in the shamanic practices, right? We learn about, you know, keeping the wisdom of Mother Earth, right? Who created Mother Earth? The creator did, right? The same creator that created you and me created the plants and the animals and the streams and the birds and everything we could ever imagine. And in Reiki, it's the same thing. We act as a channel for source energy so that we can help people heal from things that, may not be serving them. And same thing in yoga. It's all about spirituality. Like, how can we come back to that place of centeredness, that place of completion, that place of wholeness, getting in touch with the creator? It all comes back to that same thing, the creator, universe, source. That different modalities all come back to the same thing. And that's what's so amazing and so powerful about this journey, is that when you see that there's really just the creator and we're all kind of intertwined because we're all connected to the creator, which means that we're all connected to each other. It's powerful. And when you finally get to that point where you can see it as that, that's when you are truly tapped in and you act as a channel for the creator. That's what we want to do, right? We want to live like the creator wants us to live, which is to be loving, to be kind, to be compassionate, to be giving, and to be giving that energy to others from a place of unconditional love for ourselves and the world around us, right? That we're being called to do that in every moment.
A long, long time ago, I was reading a book, and it was a channeled book, actually. And the entity that was being channeled said that picture humanity as a still lake, tranquil, no
Mhm.
winds, the water is still. You throw
Yes.
a pebble on it, and you see all the ripples and the wave that goes
Yes.
out. That
Mhm.
is exactly how the actions of one person impacts the rest of humanity. I was like,
Absolutely.
"Oh, I never thought of it that way." And I was like, "Oh, wow, it really makes sense because we're all connected." So for one thing that we do for small that we doesn't matter how small we think it is,
Yeah.
it really does a huge impact, a huge effect on everyone.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
What's the quote? Be the change in the world that.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yes, that's what
There
it
you
is.
go.
Thank you. I was I was like right here. Yes, be the change that you want to see in the world. And why is that? Because your change has a ripple effect, right? If I change, then if my energy changes, then the world around me changes. And what happens is if the world around me changes, it means that the people around me, right, we're all connected to each other, right? And we're all reacting to each other. So if everything is a mirror, right? That's a big part of the law of assumption, is everything is, it's, there's a quote, it's everything is you pushed out, which means everything is mirroring back to you everything you think and feel about you. So if people are being a mirror to me, I'm also being a mirror to them, right? So if I change, then they're not physically changing, but they're reacting differently because I've changed myself. And then that's the ripple effect, right? So if they're reacting differently to me, then maybe the next time they'll react differently to somebody else for the same reason. So people will never have to change. Like, the only people that need to change are ourselves. We can't control how the people around us change, but we can control how we change and how we transform. The world around us transforms because they are reacting differently to our energy now. They're reacting differently to who we are.
Indeed. Susan, that is a rabbit hole that we can go and spend hours in there
Yes, we
talking
can.
about it. But can you, we have been talking a little bit about your work, but can you tell us about your work, what you do, what kind of sessions you offer?
Sure. So I am a manifestation coach and a spiritual teacher. I offer a 12-week coaching program called Radically Reconnected. It is for the individual who feels disconnected from themselves and from the creator. And we work together to get back to that sense of connection so that you can live your life with purpose, with abundance, and with clarity and confidence. It is a 12-week program. There's 8 modules, and it's really about creating the vision and the life that you want for yourself.
Beautiful. And where can people connect with you? Do you have a website?
Sure. So my website is www.suecarabello.com, and you can book a session on there, or send me an email on there as well. You can also follow me on Instagram at Susan Carabello _. If you have any questions, you can DM there as well.
Susan, this has been an amazing conversation. Thank you again so much for
Thank you so
spending
much.
time with us. My last question to you is, if there was one takeaway from this conversation and from your life experiences that you would like
Mhm.
for the audience to take today, what would that be?
The one takeaway. Your life will change when you connect with the creator daily. That is the one takeaway. When you can connect to however you feel or see it, whether it's the universe, God, Jesus, creator, source, whatever word you want to use, your life will change when you develop that connection with the creator. Because when you start to develop that connection with the creator, you're trusting that what the creator has for you is perfect for you. And that's when your life will change.
Thank you so much for that message. And thank you
You're
so much
welcome.
for being here again, Susan, and for sharing your wisdom with us. It's been truly an honor to speak with you and, have you talk to our audience.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.